Old school RuneScape is an amazing game. You have skills to level, monsters to kill, quests to complete, and money to make. But some players are locked out of the full experience, and that's because old school RuneScape is a membership driven game. You'll need to fork over some serious dollar bills to experience everything the game has to offer. But with today's video, you'll be able to make some super fast GP to afford your first ever bond. Before I show you how to make some GP, we need to talk about what bonds are. Bonds are like a crack addict's beautiful crystal rock. It allows players to experience the full dopamine bursting game that is old school RuneScape. A single bond gives 14 days of membership and access to members only benefits. And now while the free game is absolutely amazing, we all know you want to explore every nook and cranny that the game has to offer. And with 8 members only skills, insane PvM challenges, raids, hundreds of quests, and a vibrant PvP community, you'll be wanting to get your slimy hands on a bond as soon as possible. And with today's video, you'll have one in no time. I want to kickstart your old school RuneScape experience with 5 free bonds. Throughout the video will be a tiny little bird. Count up how many show up and comment down below with your in-game name and your goals for 2023. 2 lucky viewers will be picked 1 month from this video being released. Now that I've told you what bonds do, let's talk about how bonds actually work. So imagine player A. He needs some quick GP for his Discord kitten's monthly allowance, but he doesn't have it in the bank. He can spend $8 to purchase an in-game bond and sell it for some gold on the Grand Exchange. Now, imagine player B. They're a Sigma Chad who stays at in-game raids all day long, and their monthly membership is almost up, but they need to keep raiding. So they'll just go buy a bond to upkeep the membership. That's the gist of how bonds work. They trade GP for real life money between players, but they don't have a static price. These bad boys fluctuate all the time. Typically they're worth between 6 to 8 million GP. And I know that sounds like a lot, but with today's methods, we're gonna help you achieve that GP in no time. But before we hop into the methods, we do have a word from today's video sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. You got a phone in your pocket, right? Then you should be playing Raid Shadow Legends. You can play while you AFK skills in old school RuneScape. It's a perfect combo. A game to play on your phone while you grind those nasty AFK skills. Raid Shadow Legends is a game that allows you to choose champions from different factions to do battle. You can power up these champions with special boosts and abilities. And they have over 650 different champions to choose from. And they recently added a new faction called the Sylvan Watchers. You got forest elves, scary looking tree spirits, and even some living rock monsters. They got it all going on as a faction. And rather than build a huge city on the ground, the Sylvan Watchers made their home in Mistwood, a huge jungle in the east of Teleria. Don't expect to walk in the park if you try to visit the Sylvan Watchers, because if the beasts don't kill you, they might for trespassing on their land. And there's loads of variety in this faction, with each champion being in tune with nature. Some have plants or mushrooms growing off of them, while some are literal actual trees. And here's one of my favorites, Dudan the Runic, a big old tanky boy that reminds me of the Guardian of the Rift pet. But he's not all. Raid has held an amazing Christmas event for all new players. They are celebrating the 12 days of Raid. Download Raid Shadow Legends from the link below, copy your player ID from in-game, and go to the link in the description to claim your reward. You only have till January 10th, so make sure you're quick. Each day you'll experience a new chapter of the winner's story and play a new minigame for a chance to win some amazing in-game and real-life prizes, including holiday-themed Raid champions and even Amazon gift cards up to $1,000. But this event isn't just for new players. Raid also has a special holiday promo code for existing Raid players. But that is not all. Raid has also just released a new legendary champion based off MMA and pro wrestling legend Ronda Rousey. You can get Ronda for free right now by just logging into Raid and playing for 7 days between now and February 20th. For even more rewards, use the promo code RAIDRONDA, available for all users. If you haven't started playing Raid yet, click the link in the description or scan my QR code to get $35 worth of unique bonuses. I'm talking a free epic champion, 100,000 silver, 50 gems, and 2 epic skill tomes. All this treasure will be waiting for you here, available for 30 days for new players only. I want to thank Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring today's video. The first method we're going to be doing has absolutely no requirements other than just having a small cash tag to start. We're going to be making dyes with Aggie in Draenor Village. You'll need a cheeky 50 to 100k to start off with, and you can start definitely with a lot less, but your profit per hour will be significantly lower. And speaking of profit, you're going to expect to bring in over 200,000 GP per hour. Now that's nothing crazy, but for a brand new account fresh from Tutorial Island, it can be pretty huge. All you need to do is head over to the Grand Exchange and purchase some starting supplies. We're making blue dyes for this run, and that requires some woad leaves. And the one caveat to this method is you need to watch the price margins. If you buy the leaves for way overpriced, you will not make a profit. So you can leave them in overnight and let them buy. Then you just run back and forth between the bank and Aggie. It's a little click intensive, but with no requirements, you can't really complain. I'd recommend using this method to make your first couple mil and then jump into method number 2. Coming in at a hot number 2 is high alching. Now, most of you know high alching as the magic trading method, and yeah, it is, but it also turns items into pure gold pieces. And if you're high alching the right items, you can make a nasty profit. With just 55 magic and a pretty big cash stack to start, you can make over 700k GP per hour and some juicy magic XP. But you can't just alch any old item. The best items to alch can be tricky to find. Typically, most rune items can be bought below the high alch price on the GE. Only real trouble with that is the buy limit. This limits the amount of items you can buy per 4 hours. Now, one way to get around that is to buy bulk items directly from other players, and you can do this in World 308 at the West Bank near the Anvil. Players that are training Smithy will be selling large quantities of their items here. You can buy them up and just start alching. And once you have the items, you can pop on a movie, boot up old school RuneScape on your phone, and kick back to make some serious GP. Now let's say you don't have a juicy cash stack to start with, but you still want to do some high alching. Well, you're in luck, because this method will net you around 20,000 magic XP and over 250,000 GP per hour. That is collecting steel plate bodies in the wilderness and alching them as you go. You just need level 55 magic and some nature runes to get started. But the one issue with this method is that PKers can kill you and take your items. But let's be honest, this is free to play. You can't really die unless you turn off your PC as they're attacking you. As long as you have some food, a little bit of armor, and some teleport runes, you can tank just about anything. Now, to start this method, you're going to need a fire staff, nature runes, some lobsters, and a slash weapon. I'd recommend just equipping a good old rune scimitar, some green dragon hide, and heading on out. We're going to be going deep into the wilderness to the lava maze. There is a steel plate body spawn here that you can collect and alch. And once you collect it, you're just going to hop through the free-to-play worlds, collecting and alching as you go. You can honestly do this for as long as you want. If your balls are big enough and you have enough nature runes, you can go on forever. Once you're satisfied with your haul, just run to level 20 wilderness and teleport on out. Now, this next method is pretty juicy for your count overall. We're going to be killing Ogrish Shamans. This isn't the best money-making method on the list, but it's got some pretty good combat XP along with some nice profit. With some decent stats, green dragon hide gear, and some quests completed, you can take down these ogres. And they have some pretty decent drops. Most of the drops are stackable, but every now and again you'll get some runite items. So you want to make sure you bring some high alch runes with you so you can alch the drops. The ogres are located in the Kasor Cove dungeon that can be accessed after the completion of Dragon Slayer 1 and completion of the Kosar Cove quests. If your combat stats are high enough, you can AFK these ogres for some juicy profit. Overall, this method can net you over 150,000 GP per hour with around 30,000 combat XP. Highly recommend this method for any players looking to level up while making some good cash. Alright, I hear you. You just downed an Adderall and have a fresh account off Tutorial Island and you want to make loads of GP on it. Well, this method is for you. The Adderall is for the intense amount of clicking you're about to be doing. So get your favorite music bumping because we're going to be grinding up some chocolate bars. With just a knife and around 50k starting cash, you can head on over to the GE and purchase chocolate bars. Why chocolate bars? Well, we're going to be grinding them up into chocolate dust. This dust is used to make energy potions and can be sold for a pretty penny. So there's two main methods to do this. You can click and wait for the inventory to be finished, or you can click as fast as your little coked up hands can go and make an insane profit. With the slow method, you're looking at making around 50k GP per hour. But if you're manually rolling through these bad boys, you're looking at making over 250,000 GP per hour. A perfect method for a new account to get some insane starting cash. Now, for this next method, we're going to be heading back into the wilderness. We're going to be going all the way to level 15 at the Dark Warriors Fortress. Like I said earlier, boys, this is free to play. You're not going to be dying to a PK unless you literally fall asleep while they attack you. So bring some decent food, teleport runes to Varrock, and you're good to go. We're going to be collecting the Chaos runes throughout the fortress. There's two big ways to go about this. If you're a big baller with high combat stats, you just can say fuck it and just run through, pick up the runes, and hop worlds. Not a huge deal and much easier. But if you're a low level player, don't fret. You can go all the way up to the 3rd floor and wait 10 minutes. This will de-aggro the warriors in the fortress. And once they're de-aggroed, you can head to the northwest room to start collecting the runes. You want to grab the 5 chaos runes and just hop worlds. Doing this method, you can expect around 2,700 chaos runes per hour, which is around an expected profit around 200,000 GP per hour. Now, boys and girls, this next method is the second best money-making method in the entire game, free to play or members, but it requires skill and knowing the market. I'm talking about flipping. What is flipping? It involves buying items for as little as possible and then selling them for as much as possible for a nice profit. The great thing about flipping is it can be used to profit from any item, no matter its price trend. However, it's important to have plenty of starting cash to make the most of it, as low profits can result from not having enough GP. I'd recommend having around 2 to 3 million GP to start out with. To determine the best price range for flipping an item, start by buying one of them at a price significantly above market value. The amount you pay for it is the high price or the highest price you can sell the item for. Next, sell that same item at a price well below the market value. The amount you receive for it is the low price or the lowest you can buy the item for. If the difference between the high and the low prices is not that good, the item's probably not suitable for flipping. It's also important to be aware that prices for items can be volatile and change extremely fast. So it's a good idea to do a test buy and sell of a small quantity first to see how quickly the item moves. This will help you determine whether it's worth investing more money into it. It's a good idea to diversify your investments and not put all of your money into one item. If the price of that item drops, you can end up in a pretty bad situation. Instead, try to find 4 to 6 good items to invest in and just keep buying low and selling high. And remember that patience is the key in trading. Sometimes you may need to wait for the right opportunities to buy and sell an item to make some good profit. By staying patient, looking for these opportunities, you can make an insane amount of money through flipping. Now, I hope you guys found some new methods that you like and can be used to gain that first bond. Free to play is an amazing part of old school RuneScape, but setting foot in a member's world for that first time is just something special. And I hope that all of you get to experience that one day. If you found this video helpful, then you'll love to see my high level money making video where I detail some of the best money makers in the game. And as always, thanks for watching.